You know what's kind of crazy? That little habit you have, the one people joke about. The thing everyone says is just, so you. Well, it might not be a personality trait at all. It could actually be your brain under strain. And the scariest part is this: you probably don't even realize it. I'm about to walk you through 5 behaviors that seem totally normal, maybe even relatable, but they're actually signals waving as hard as they can. And before you scroll away thinking this has nothing to do with you, stay with me. Because if you look at the numbers, there's a very good chance at least one of these is happening inside your brain right now. Let's start with number 10, the skin archaeologist. You're sitting on the couch watching TV when you suddenly notice you've been scratching a tiny bump on your arm. You've been doing it for 20 minutes without even noticing. Now it's bleeding. This isn't just a bad habit. It's often referred to as excoriation disorder or compulsive skin picking. Your brain is blasting out a message that says, "Fix something, fix it now." And your hands jump in without asking questions. While you're doing it, there's this odd sense of relief. But once it's over, what's left is shame, guilt, and lasting marks. This behavior is often connected to anxiety, OCD, or past trauma. Your brain creates a problem it feels like it can control, your own skin, because the rest of the world feels way too big and overwhelming. You're not weak. Your brain is doing whatever it can to survive. Number 9. The mental time traveler. It's 2 in the morning. You're lying in bed replaying an awkward moment from 3 years ago. Or you're rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet and probably never will. That's rumination. Your mind gets stuck, looping through the past or racing into the future, refusing to let you stay in the present moment. Rumination is commonly linked to both depression and anxiety. Your brain convinces itself that if it just goes over that moment one more time, it'll finally fix it. But it never does. All it really does is make you feel worse. Research shows that people who ruminate are much more likely to develop major depression. This isn't your brain being deep or thoughtful. It's your brain under mental overload. Number 8. The emotional ghost. You share exciting news with someone, and they barely react. They nod and say, "Oh, cool." Or maybe you're the one doing that. Your closest friend is crying, and inside you feel nothing. This is emotional blunting, and it can feel unsettling. It's like the emotional volume in your brain has been turned way down. This can happen with severe depression or PTSD. From the outside, you might look calm, but inside, you want to feel something, anything. Life starts to feel like you're watching it from behind a foggy window, not really part of it. This isn't strength. It's a signal that something may need attention. Number 7. The disaster director. You send a text. An hour goes by with no reply. A healthy brain thinks, they're probably busy. Your brain, on the other hand, starts rolling a full disaster film where they secretly hate you and you're destined to end up alone. Your boss sounds slightly irritated one day, and suddenly you're convinced you're about to be fired and lose everything. This isn't normal worrying. This is catastrophic thinking. It's when your brain takes a tiny spark and turns it into a full-blown emergency. It's commonly associated with generalized anxiety patterns, where the brain's threat system is overactive and keeps spotting danger everywhere. It's not helping you prepare, it's keeping you stuck in imagined outcomes. Number 6. The approval addict. Someone offers the smallest bit of criticism, and it hits you like a punch in the chest. A friend takes longer than usual to text back, and your brain instantly screams, "They hate me. I messed up." This is often called rejection sensitivity dysphoria, or RSD, and it shows up a lot in people with ADHD. It's like your brain has a panic alarm that goes off at the tiniest hint of rejection. People with RSD often become intense people pleasers, terrified of making mistakes or letting anyone down. And here's the strange part. The rejection doesn't even have to be real. A distracted look can feel like a direct attack. This is a brain that experiences emotional pain in a way similar to physical pain, and it hurts deeply. So what does all of this really mean? These aren't just cute names for odd habits. They're clues about how our brains are wired and how that wiring can get tangled. Noticing these patterns isn't about labeling or diagnosing yourself. It's about understanding. It's about realizing that if you struggle with any of these, you're not broken, dramatic, or weak. Your brain is sending a message, a loud, non-stop message that it needs support. And the very first, most powerful thing you can do is listen. All right, let's keep going. Here are 5 more behaviors that look normal on the surface, but are actually your brain signaling that it needs support. Number 5, the ritual prisoner. You check the door lock again and again before leaving. If you lose count, you start over. Or, every morning you line up the items on your desk the exact same way. If something feels even slightly off, a wave of dread hits you. We usually call this being organized, but for some people, these aren't preferences at all. They're urgent, overwhelming demands coming straight from the brain. This is often associated with obsessive-compulsive patterns, and it has nothing to do with being neat. It's the belief that something bad might happen if a certain action isn't completed. The ritual becomes your brain's way of trying to turn off fear, like an invisible electric fence. Cross it, and your internal alarm goes off. Someone with these patterns might scrub their hands until the skin is raw, not because they're dirty, but because they're trying to quiet a disturbing thought. They might check the stove again and again. Missing one check feels catastrophic. The ritual brings brief relief, but it fades quickly. The anxiety returns, demanding the ritual again. It's a loop that can quietly swallow hours of a day. Number 4, the joy thief. You take a bite of your favorite food, and it tastes like nothing. Your best friend gets engaged. You know you should feel happy, but there's only emptiness. This experience is often called anhedonia, the loss of pleasure, and it's closely linked to depression. Your brain has a system designed to feel joy. When good things happen, that system usually lights up. With anhedonia, it doesn't respond the same way. You can be surrounded by laughter and still feel detached, like you're watching life through glass. There's social anhedonia, where being around people feels draining, and physical anhedonia, where food, music, and touch feel dull. If joy has faded, it's not because you're ungrateful. It's a signal that something deeper may be going on. Number 3, the reassurance junkie. You send a message. There's no instant reply. Your brain panics and assumes something is wrong. So you ask, "Are you mad at me?" They say no. For a moment, you feel calm. Then the doubt returns. Maybe they're just being polite. Maybe I should ask again. This is excessive reassurance seeking. It's not about getting new information, it's about trying to quiet anxiety. The problem is, the relief never lasts. The more reassurance you chase, the more your brain relies on it. People may bring up old mistakes again and again, not to be annoying, but because they're genuinely distressed, searching for certainty in a world that can't provide it. Number 2, the choice paralytic. You scroll through Netflix for 40 minutes and never press play. You stand in the cereal aisle, frozen. The waiter asks what you want. A simple question, but your brain spirals into worst-case scenarios. What if I choose wrong? What if everyone notices? This is decision paralysis. It's not indecision. It's a brain stuck trying to avoid regret while waiting for perfect certainty that never comes. So it stops, sometimes for hours, sometimes for days. And over time, this hesitation spills into bigger parts of life, delaying important decisions. Relationships stay unresolved. For many adults, anxiety can turn everyday choices into mental pressure. When simple decisions stop you in your tracks while others move on easily, it may be your brain sending a signal. And number 1, The human slot machine. You quit a job without a plan. You book a one-way ticket. You buy something you can't afford and call it spontaneity. This behavior is often linked to impulse control difficulties. Your brain's brake system doesn't fully engage. You feel the urge and act before thinking it through. Most people have an inner pause that says, "Wait." Here, that pause comes too late. This can look like constant overspending, binge eating, or sudden anger that damages relationships. It isn't freedom. It's a loop of action followed by regret. People can make life-changing choices in seconds, then spend years handling the consequences. The brain struggles to recognize risk in time. So there it is, 5 behaviors that feel relatable but point to a brain under strain. If any of this felt familiar, hear this clearly. You are not broken. You are not alone. This isn't a personality flaw. It's your brain signaling that something deeper may need care. Noticing it is the first and most powerful step. If this resonated with you, subscribe. More videos are coming.